Okay, we are back in the bidding war stuff. So this time we need to lose the game. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Is everyone in agreement?
So that's Beatrix at the lowest.
Yes.
Yep.
I'm just gonna speed through this because it really doesn't matter.
Thank you for your...
I imagine Yoshiki's gonna be the one that dies here.
What? Both teams have now input... Why, hello, contest... Both teams have... And the win... Tie! Woo!
Okay, my notes are wrong.
Can you feel the tension? Let's move on. Team A.
Next up is 4 triple
You're
2.
5.
We need to
Our options.
Thank you for your inch, if you would be.
and
Wow! Team A, you are my hero!
That's not even what I chose.
Let's move on to round 3 then.
This
Team
is such a
A,
crapshoot.
you are up again.
I didn't actually write anything down here, crap. The zeros are the ones that usually win, so I'm gonna go 1, 5, 2, 2.
Congratulations, Team B. After 3 rounds, you have come out victorious. And that means, Team A, you lose. Congrats!
So just keep in mind, realistically, it'd actually be 1.5 to 1.5, but the bidding war thing is so screwed up.
And the lucky winner of the wheel is... Yoshiki! Alright, well, let's get to it. But first, just let me take the time to really congratulate all of our winners and our losers. Isn't teamwork just the greatest? Now the fun part.
Die projected her execution wheel and excitedly spun it.
Let's see, what do we have today?
Tick, tick, tick.
Congratulations, Yoshiki. You have won electrocution.
Shocking.
Well, I guess it's a fitting way for me to die.
What? How so?
Yoshiki's father accidentally electrocuted himself to death.
You could say it's something of a family specialty.
That's a pretty strange family specialty. Yoshiki laughed half-heartedly at my poor attempt to lighten the mood.
Yeah, my family is pretty strange.
All right, I've surveyed the ship, and the best place to get electrocuted is the engineering bay. No surprise there.
Huh, I would've thought it would be the kitchen or the bathroom.
You all know the drill. Let's move it.
We started making our way towards the engineering bay. Yoshiki walked between me and the captain, chatting along the way as if it were any other day.
Kimmy, do you think there's an afterlife?
You're about to find out.
What do you think, Yoshiki?
I think there might be.
I'm sure there is. And I'm sure your parents are waiting for you.
You really think so?
Of course I do. I'm just jealous they'll get to have you all to themselves.
The captain's eyes started to well up with tears, but she fought them back.
Well, don't worry, Kimmy. At this rate, I might see you next week.
I can arrange that. Yoshiki grinned playfully at the captain.
I'll be sure to clean up before you arrive. I can't have you scolding me in the afterlife, too.
We'll see.
At that point, we arrived at the engineering bay, where we found Dai standing in front of a fuse box, looking quite pleased with herself.
All right, Yoshiki, if you would step this way, open this box, and, you know, grab onto some of the live wires, that would be awesome.
This isn't my first electrocution, Dai. I know how to kill myself.
Oh, well. Sorry for trying to be helpful.
Well, this appears to be my stop.
I'm sorry, BFF. I'm gonna miss you.
I'm going to miss you, too. Could you do me a favor while I'm gone?
No. Name it.
Would you check in on Kimiko every once in a while?
No. You've got it, Yoshiki.
She especially likes it if you're late all the time.
Huh. I'll try my best. Yoshiki said his goodbyes to everyone before hugging the captain, who began to cry again despite her best efforts.
Kimmy, sis, I love you. And I always will.
I love you too, Yoshiki. I'm sorry I couldn't save you. I'm so sorry.
What did I say about crying?
The captain sniffled before pulling away from the hug to salute Yoshiki.
Officer Sasaki, Thank you for your contributions to the Everett. You have been relieved of your duties.
The crew all saluted Yoshiki, who seemed embarrassed by all the attention. Dai cleared her throat and made a wrap-it-up gesture with her right hand.
Yeah, I'm coming. Oh, I almost forgot. There's a present for you on my bed.
What? Yoshiki just smiled as he grabbed onto the exposed wires in the fuse box. That's much tamer than I imagined it would be. I'm almost a little disappointed. The other thing that really disappoints me is that fuse boxes in the future look like that. You guys are probably getting tired of my technicalities. His body jolted violently as thousands of volts ran through his body. The hairs on my head tingled as the electricity filled the air. Its cacophonous crackle permeated the room, harsh to the ears. So, if you don't know how electricity works, volts is pressure, watt is quantity, and amperage is the physical force. The volts will just burn you. It's the amperage that will actually kill you. I held on to the captain, who looked as if she was moments away from reaching out and grabbing Yoshiki's twisted form. The last thing we need right now was more unnecessary deaths. After a few moments, Dai cut the power to the fuse box, and Yoshiki's burnt and lifeless body slumped to the ground.
Job well done, Dai. He's definitely dead.
Dai gave herself a small pat on the back. As soon as the electricity stopped, I let go of the captain, who was immediately on the ground with Yoshiki. She was propping him up in her lap, attempting to get any response.
Yoshiki? Yoshiki?
Nikolas knelt down to check Yoshiki's vitals. He raised his head to meet the captain's eyes.
I'm sorry, Captain.
He's alive? The captain broke down in tears, hugging Yoshiki so tightly that her cries were muffled by his lifeless body. Captain,
Leave her be.
I stepped away from the captain and stood back with the rest of the crew.
We all have places to be. Let's get out of here and allow the captain to grieve in peace.
Melody nuzzled into Beatrix's neck as she turned on her heels and followed Nikolas out of the engineering bay. Wasn't long before the others followed suit. I stood for a moment longer, watching as the captain continued to cry into Yoshiki's chest. Unable to bear it any longer, I finally turned and left. I couldn't help but feel guilty about Yoshiki's death. He was my best friend, and I'd let him down. I attempted to sleep, tossing and turning in my bed, but unfortunately sleep avoided me. Wonder what time it is. I leaned over to the bedside table to grab my tablet. It was 4:26 a.m. Frustrated, I shut my eyes again. Sleep, damn it! I sighed and pulled myself out of bed. I headed to the Eco Lounge, one of Yoshiki's favorite places. Regardless of it being so early in the morning, the Eco Lounge looked as beautiful as it always does. After all, there was no sunrise in space, so nothing had changed. I sat down on the grassy hill and looked out at the stars. We'll talk to Yoshiki. Yoshiki, I know you probably can't hear me. After all, there's no scientific basis for the persistence of a spirit after death, but let's let that slide for now. I'm sorry, Yoshiki. I would have gave you a bag of popcorn to hold if I'd known. Okay, that one might be a little too dark for you guys. I hung my head, the name stuck in my throat. I was the team captain. I should have done more to protect you. It hasn't even been 12 hours and I can feel the hole you left in the ship, in the crew. I'm going to miss you, buddy. I just wish that I could be as strong and cheerful as you were, even when your friends died.
You can be. Just try harder, bestie.
Yoshiki! A giggling Nikolas revealed himself from behind a tree.
Sorry to disappoint you, but it is only me.
That was low, Nikolas.
I saw the opportunity and I just had to take it. Besides, humor is one of the best coping strategies in the face of grief.
Huh, then in real life I must be in grief all the time. I'm not laughing.
You may not be, but what do you think Yoshiki would have wanted?
Probably that bag of popcorn. I thought back to all the time I had with Yoshiki and how cheerful and happy he always was. I didn't think he'd want me to stop laughing either. I forced myself to laugh. Please not Final Fantasy X style, please not Final Fantasy X style. Ha, 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 ha. Nikolas was bemused by my reaction.
Apparently I broke you. Luckily for me, in space they cannot revoke my medical license.
Kind of had to have one in the first place for them to take it away. Do you even have one?
No, which is probably why I broke you.
Kinda saw that one coming. You both paused for a moment before bursting into laughter. So, what are you doing here?
After last night's execution, I asked I to alert me if anyone was not sleeping well.
That's very professional of you, Dr. Vogel.
I'll let you in on a little secret.
I leaned in closer to hear his secret.
I informed me that it was not only you that got out of bed, it was Shizuka also, but I only checked up on you.
Why is that? Because we're on the Nikolas route.
I would much rather spend time with you.
I cocked my eyebrow. His answer didn't sound 100% honest. Oh?
Okay, well, Shizuka is also a very difficult patient, and I would rather not deal with her this early in the morning.
I looked at Nikolas for a moment before breaking into hysterical laughter. I had no idea you were so fearful of Shizuka.
I am not fearful. I simply prefer my social interaction to be as free of awkwardness as possible.
Then you came to the wrong dude. You are full of surprises, Nikolas. Nikolas smiled at me, but his eyes betrayed his slight embarrassment.
Regardless of my fear of particular persons, how are you feeling?
So, how are we feeling? And, of course, the answer's obvious. I think my stomach is eating itself.
Wow, that hungry, eh?
Is it unhealthy that after watching my friend be executed, all I can think about is food? Popcorn.
Quite the contrary, an appetite is a great sign.
Yay, I'm not a sociopath.
I would not count that one out just yet.
Yes, you will. I was stunned with disbelief for a moment. Was I a sociopath?
I am just playing with you. You do not exhibit any traits that would have me concerned.
Okay, we're still below his radar. Let's hope we stay that way. Unimpressed, I gave Nikolas my best menacing sociopath face.
You are killing me here.
Not yet, Nikolas. Not yet. Just before I could retort, my stomach made a huge grumbling noise.
Ah, yes, the issue at hand. Hunger.
Do you think there would be any food in the kitchen at this hour?
I can do you one better.
Nikolas rummaged around in his coat pocket before pulling out what appeared to be a small piece of fabric cloth wrapped in a bundle.
Here you go.
What is it?
Doctor's orders.
Nikolas seemed to find great amusement in his attempt at a joke. I took the small bundle from his hand and wrapped it to find a brownie. A brownie?
They happen to be Beatrix's favorite, so I ensure that I have them on hand. For emergencies.
Emergencies?
At the best of times, Beatrix can be testing. Add hungry to the mix and we have a potential catastrophe on our hands.
Is it okay that I eat this then? I don't want to cause an incident.
Yes, please. I will have Katashi make me a new batch today.
Thank you so much. I gorged myself on the brownie. Again, Katashi demonstrates his magic in the kitchen. Thank you for coming and checking up on me, Nikolas. I really appreciate it.
It was my pleasure. Your company is worth the early rise.
Just for that, we'll kill him last. Even in the face of our dire situation, Nikolas could still turn on the charm. Well, I think I'll head back to my quarters and try to get some more sleep.
That is a very good idea.
Good night, Nikolas.
Good morning.
Nikolas would make a great father one day for those lame dad jokes. I made my way back to my quarters. As soon as my head hit the pillow, I was out like a light. Speaking with Nikolas was exactly what I needed. She's still not talking. So here she's doing her Navi impersonation. Hey, listen! What? Open my eyes, see Dai standing next to my bed. Earth to hero! Dai stopped in her tracks and began talking to herself. Wait, maybe invoking Earth's name is a bit insensitive. Given how the human race destroyed the planet, it might open old wounds. What are my other options, though? Other planets don't sound right. Mars 2, Jupiter 2... Die. Yes? What's happening? Why are you here? Well, it's nice to see you too. Sheesh. What? Dai gave me a scathing look, highly unimpressed by the reception. I've summoned the crew for the next game explanation. They're all in the dining hall. Am I late? Late is an understatement. You didn't even wake up to my previous announcements over the ship's PA system. I'm so sorry. I haven't been sleeping well. Dai turned on her best disingenuous voice. Don't worry, I get it. All your friends are dying, and you probably will too soon. Thanks, that's helping. A piece of advice. Shoot. Di leaned in closer to me and whispered in my ear, "You'll have plenty of time to sleep when you're dead. Until then, dining hall now." Di dissipated. I jumped out of the bed and ran quickly to the dining hall. I didn't want the crew to be punished for my lateness. Clearly, Di was not impressed. I made it to the dining hall very short of breath. Everyone was sitting around the dining hall table awaiting my arrival. I'm so
Where are your clothes?
What? I looked down and saw the captain was right. I was wearing a singlet and my boxer shorts.
Monkey, you have to wear your clothes. It's a rule.
Screw the rules. I'm so sorry, I just ran...
Well, now we all get to see what kind of man you really are.
Beatrix smirked playfully while nudging Shizuka to her right. Shizuka was sitting with her hands clasped tightly over her eyes. Her cheeks were bright red. I'll just go back and get... I don't think so, mister. Di appeared in front of me, grinning like a maniac. You're already late. I won't allow you to keep me waiting any longer. I tried to awkwardly cover myself.
Don't be ashamed, rookie. That's quite the impressive body you have there.
Thank you? Kashi smiled playfully as I sheepishly took a seat next to Nikolas. Darn. Why do some of them talk and others don't? We are all adults here, let us behave as such.
I'm not an adult. I'm 5.
Shut up and get back in your cage.
Melody, you are an honorary adult because you are so mature.
Melody smiled proudly at Nikolas before turning to the captain for affirmation.
He's right. You are an honorary adult now.
This makes me feel so much better.
What does?
I remember you being adamant that Melody couldn't play my games because she was a child, but now problem solved.
You know very well that...
Melody, want to have your first adult drink with Di?
Can I?
No.
The captain tried to intervene, but Di spoke straight over the top of her. Can you? Of course, you're an adult now. You don't have to listen to anyone anymore. Melody's face lit up.
Even you?
Di was taken aback momentarily by the response before nonchalantly addressing the rest of the crew. Kids say the darndest things, eh? Di turned her attention back to Melody, who was sitting awaiting an answer. You don't have to do what I say ever. You're free to make your own choices.
Really?
Yep, and I'm free to murder you when you disobey me.
But that's not fair.
That's life, kiddo. You're free to choose everything but the consequences. Melody sat quietly pouting in her chair. Excellent, now that I've dished out some life lessons, let's get to the fun part.
Vampire Children is played over 3 cycles. One person will be chosen at random by me and be made the vampire. I'll tell this person in secret, and the 6 other people are humans. No one will know for sure who is a vampire and who is a human, other than themselves. During each cycle, you have the choice to either mate with another person or not. It's not compulsory, but definitely advisable. However, you can't mate with the same person twice, even during different cycles. Where's the fun in that, right? Every time 2 humans mate, 2 children are born. When 1 human and 1 vampire mate, no children are born, but that human becomes a vampire for life, and for point's sake, a vampire child. If 2 vampires mate, nothing happens except a good time. Only the original vampire will know that they're a vampire. Humans who unknowingly mate with a vampire won't know until the end of the game. After each cycle, I will announce the total count, human babies produced, and new vampires created. After 3 cycles, the human and vampire children counts will be tallied. If there are more vampire children than humans, the human that created the fewest human babies will be executed. If more human babies exist, the starting vampire will be executed. Now, 1 versus 6 can seem lonely, so here's my offer to the soon-to-be vampire. The vampire can choose a Bonnie to their Clyde. This person will knowingly and willingly become a vampire in the first round, and will win and lose alongside the vampire. If the vampire wins, so do they, and so they are spared from death. But if the vampire loses, so does that person, and we have a double execution. Be careful though, your Bonnie and Clyde dreams may be short-lived, and your partner might out you as the vampire. So, tell others at your own risk. I will notify you of your human or vampire status sometime before the game begins on Sunday morning. This is my favorite game to date. Any questions? Need me to repeat?
Okay, so we can turn the microphone back on. We're good.
Excellent.
Di suddenly zapped out of the room, and the broadcast opened overhead where we could all hear Di using her best customer service voice.
We understand that you have a choice in deletion game carrier, and want to thank you all so much for choosing the Die Deletion game service. We murder for your satisfaction, and we look forward to servicing you again this Sunday.
I just couldn't get settled throughout the night. Kept looking at the clock. 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m. It's about 4 a.m. that I heard the knock at the door in my quarters.
Are you awake?
Well, if I was, I'm not anymore.
With that being the case, I had best let myself in.
My quarters door opened to reveal a very lively Nikolas. Looking at him, no one could tell it was about 4 a.m. I sat up as he made his way over to my bed. 4 a.m., eh? And to what do I owe this pleasure?
I wish this visit was out of self-interest. In truth, I came to ask you a favor.
A favor? At 4 a.m.? Oh, Nikolas, I thought you would never ask. I winked at Nikolas, to which he responded awkwardly in kind.
I wine and dine my dates first, thank you very much.
I laughed as Nikolas continued.
The captain is fretting over the black hole situation.
Are you sure it's a black hole and not a back hole? Ah, yes, the black hole. So, were you unable to console her?
I am only a medical doctor and an amazing pianist, thus my attempts at comforting are of very little help in this matter.
Throw the piano at her, she'll get the message. I couldn't help but chuckle at Nikolas's faux modesty.
You, however, are a scientist, and because of that, your comforting words will carry more weight.
We're all gonna die! So you want me to cheer up the captain in regards to her slow and inevitable death? Huh, that one actually does sound like me.
Precisely. But do try to be as kind as possible. The captain, like you, was very close to Yoshiki.
I stopped for a moment, recalling the last time I had observed the captain. When we saw the captain during the new game explanation, she seemed completely fine. Even more so than usual.
She does that. She holds it together for everyone else. She always has.
Okay, I will be sure to be even more supportive than usual.
Thank you.
A silence fell over the room. Neither of us said a word for almost a minute.
Well, you had best be getting dressed.
Wait, you want me to talk to her now?
Now.
I groaned as I pulled myself out of bed and put on enough of my uniform to satisfy the captain's keen eye for detail. Nikolas placed one of his hands on my shoulder.
You are a good kid.
That's because you don't know me. Thank you. I shrugged Nikolas off as I wound my way down the hallway and towards the bridge, still rubbing my eyes in an attempt to be 100% awake for the captain. I arrived at the bridge and could see the captain, who appeared to be crying while pacing back and forth near the captain's chair in the center of the room. Captain? She froze in her tracks, quickly wiped her face with her sleeve, and regained her composure in the blink of an eye before turning to face me.
Oh, good morning.
I hear you have a hole problem, and I am here to plug it. The captain's face broke into a large, genuine smile.
That is the type of joke my father used to make.
Hopefully not with you. Well, I have plenty more of where that came from.
Can you tell bad jokes on command?
Bad? I have no idea.
Let us test this.
Shouldn't we be discussing the black hole instead? The captain closed her eyes deep in thought. Captain?
I think trying to force a joke on command will lose its effect. After all, the best humor is of the moment.
Wait, that's what you were thinking about? Not the black hole?
You know, my humor is a whole other side of me you have yet to see.
The captain couldn't help but laugh at her own joke. So, I believe you may be having some concerns about the black hole.
Yes, that is correct.
What is the problem exactly?
Just over a week ago, I made the choice to stay on course towards the black hole.
Yes, I remember, and your argument made sense, so what's the problem?
We will be at the closest point to the black hole tomorrow just after 4 a.m.
And Shizuka will handle it. Are you worried that you've made the wrong choice?
People are already dying on my watch. I don't want to sentence the entire crew to death at once.
It's gonna save us a lot of time if you do. Captain, no one's going to die being this close to the black hole. As Shizuka said, we should miss the event horizon, which, as you know, is the point of no return in a black hole. We won't get stuck, we won't die. The captain did not look convinced. My understanding of black holes means that worst-case scenario, while navigating through its gravitational pull, we might experience time dilation, but even then it shouldn't be observable for us.
Time dilation?
To put it simply, time passes slower for those closer to a black hole than those farther away from it. So a day to us might in fact be a year for others further away. But theoretically, we shouldn't even notice. The captain started looking even more concerned. Nothing I was saying was helping here. Maybe I was making it worse. My father always said that people are like parrots. They love their own reflections and their own voices. Maybe this is what he meant. Here goes. Captain, would you rather have a 100% chance of death or a 50% chance? The captain's worried demeanor quickly melted away, and she turned her gaze to me, smirking.
Wise words. I wonder where you got them from.
You guys are probably tired of the cookie joke.
But you are right, and so was I. Not chancing the black hole is a death sentence in itself.
See, all better. No point worrying about all what we can't control. We either die by a black hole or by a psychotic AI system, both noble deaths. The captain looked stern for a moment before breaking into a laugh.
Noble indeed. Thank you for the laugh and for your counsel.
You are most welcome. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have a bed awaiting me. I made my way back to my quarters and swiftly back into my bed. Nikolas, the mission was a success, and now you owe me. I'm not sure what it was about discussing black holes I found comforting, but as soon as I got back to my quarters, I slept like a rock.